Your dog knows you are crying before you even make a sound. And what they do next is not instinct. It is something far more ancient, far more deliberate, and far more personal than you ever imagined. Most people think their dog is just being sweet when they come close during a moment of sadness. They think, he senses something is off, and they leave it at that. But here is what they never stop to ask. How does he sense it? Why does he move closer instead of away? And what is actually happening inside his mind in that exact moment? Because what your dog is doing when you cry is not random comfort seeking. It is a deeply wired response, a behavior shaped over thousands of years of living alongside humans. And the way your dog responds in that moment tells you something specific, something real, about how he sees you, how he feels about you, and what you mean to him. By the end of this video, you will never look at that moment the same way again. And there is one behavior in particular, one specific thing some dogs do when their owner cries, that researchers only recently began to understand. We will get to that. And when we do, it will change everything you thought you knew about your dog's emotional world. Let's start at the beginning. Your dog cannot understand language the way you do. He does not know what "I am having a hard day" means. He cannot read your texts. He cannot follow your thoughts. But he reads something else entirely. He reads your body. A dog's hearing is tuned to frequencies far beyond what humans can detect. The small tremor in your voice when you are trying not to cry, he catches it. The slight change in your breathing pattern, he notices it immediately. The shift in your posture when grief settles into your body, he sees it before you are even aware of it yourself. You think you are holding it together. Your dog already knows you are not. And here is where it gets remarkable. Dogs do not just detect emotional change. Studies in animal cognition have shown that dogs can differentiate between a human face expressing happiness and a human face expressing sadness. They respond differently to each one, not randomly, consistently, but there is more. And this is the part that most dog owners never hear about. When your dog smells you, he is smelling your emotional state. Cortisol, the hormone your body releases when you are stressed or overwhelmed, has a scent, faint one, completely undetectable to humans. But to a dog, whose sense of smell is estimated to be up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours, it is unmistakable. When you begin to cry, your body chemistry shifts. Hormones change. Sweat glands activate slightly differently. Even your tears carry chemical signals. Your dog is not guessing that you are sad. He is smelling it, reading it, processing it in real time, and then he makes a choice. That word matters, choice, because not all dogs run toward a crying owner. Some stay back, some tilt their head, some bring a toy, some simply sit and watch with those steady, quiet eyes. And every single one of those responses means something different. We are going to go through each one, because the behavior your dog shows in that moment is a window directly into his inner world. And one of those responses is so misunderstood by owners that most people actually try to stop it. They think it means their dog is uncomfortable or afraid, but the truth is the complete opposite. We will get there. Let's talk about the dog who comes closer. This is the most common response, and also the most layered. When a dog moves toward you during a moment of emotional distress, he is not simply following a reflex. He has assessed the situation, read your signals, and made an active decision to close the distance between you. That decision has a name in animal behavior science. It is called empathic approach behavior. And here is what makes it extraordinary. In a 2012 study published in the journal Animal Cognition, researchers found that dogs were significantly more likely to approach a person who was crying than a person who was humming or speaking normally. And they approached the crying person with submissive, gentle body language. Not excited, not anxious, gentle, deliberate, calm, as if they understood that the situation called for a specific kind of presence. You have probably felt this. The moment your dog settles beside you, not bouncing, not demanding attention, just there, completely there. That is not accident. That is your dog reading the room and deciding that what you need right now is not play, not noise, not energy. What you need is company. Now let's talk about the lean. Some dogs do not just come close. They press their body against yours. Firmly, deliberately. Owners often describe this as the dog hugging them. And in a very real sense, that is exactly what it is. The body press is a form of physical communication that dogs use with beings they trust deeply. It is not about seeking warmth. It is not a request for scratches. It is an offering of presence. A way of saying, I am here. You are not alone. I am not going anywhere. And it works. Research in human psychology has shown that physical contact with a dog during emotional distress lowers cortisol levels and increases oxytocin. The same bonding hormone released between mothers and newborns, between partners, between close friends. Your dog's body against yours is not just comforting. It is chemically, biologically comforting. It changes what is happening inside you at a cellular level. And then there is the lick. This one divides people. Some owners love it. Some gently redirect it. But almost no one knows what it actually means. When a dog licks the face of a crying person, specifically the tears, they are engaging in a behavior with roots that go back to wolf pack dynamics. In wolf social structure, licking the face of a distressed pack member is a signal of alliance and submission. It communicates, I am not a threat. I am with you. I recognize that you are hurting and I am choosing your side. When your dog licks your tears, he is not tasting salt. He is performing one of the oldest gestures of solidarity in canine social behavior. He is telling you, in the only language he has, that you belong to his pack, and that in this moment he is choosing you. If this is already changing the way you see your dog's behavior, make sure you subscribe to the channel. There is a lot more of this coming. Behavior breakdowns that go deeper than anything you have read online. Now let's talk about the dog who watches from a distance. This one confuses owners the most. You are upset. You expect your dog to come to you. Instead, he sits across the room, head tilted, eyes locked on you, completely still. And you wonder, does he not care? He cares more than you know. The distance response is not avoidance. It is assessment. Your dog is reading you intensely, processing your signals, trying to understand the full picture before acting. Some dogs do this because they are naturally more cautious. Some do it because their past experiences taught them that approaching an upset human is unpredictable. And some do it because they are waiting for a signal from you that it is safe to come closer. These are often the dogs with the deepest emotional intelligence. They do not rush in. They wait. They watch. And the moment you look at them, the moment your eyes meet, they move, because that eye contact is the signal they were waiting for. That look is you telling them, yes, now, come. And they do. You probably did not realize you were communicating with your dog in that moment. But you were, and he understood perfectly. And then there is the dog who brings you something. A toy, a sock, a random object he grabbed from the floor. Most owners laugh through their tears at this one. Feels absurd. Sweet but absurd. It is actually one of the most sophisticated emotional responses a dog can show. Here is why. Dogs process negative emotion in their environment as a problem to be solved. When their owner is distressed, something in their world is wrong. And dogs are problem solvers. Bringing you an object is his attempt to do something, to fix it, to contribute to a solution, even if he does not know what the actual problem is. The toy is not a distraction. It is an offering. He is saying, I do not know what is wrong, but I brought you the best thing I have, and I hope it helps. The dogs who do this are often described by their owners as goofy or silly, but behaviorally, they are showing empathy, problem-solving, and gift-giving behavior all at once. That is not silly. That is extraordinary. Now I want to tell you about the behavior I mentioned at the beginning. The one that most owners misread completely. The one that looks like fear or anxiety, but is actually the opposite. Some dogs tremble when their owner cries. Not a violent shaking, a subtle, full-body tremor, almost like a shiver. And the owner panics. They think their dog is frightened. They think, I am upsetting him. I should hide my emotions around him. But here is what is actually happening. That trembling is emotional arousal. Your dog's nervous system is responding to your distress with genuine feeling. Not fear of you, not discomfort with the situation. He is feeling with you. Research in comparative psychology has documented this kind of somatic response in highly empathic animals. The body responds physically to another being's emotional pain. Your dog is not scared of your tears. He is moved by them. And the dogs who show this response tend to be the ones with the deepest bonds with their owners. The ones who have spent the most time reading your face, learning your rhythms, tracking your emotional state across years of daily life. The trembling is not weakness. It is intimacy. It is your dog's body telling you, what you feel, I feel too. Here is the part that changes everything. We talk about dogs comforting humans. We describe it, we study it, we share videos of it. But we almost never ask the harder question. Why? Dogs did not evolve alongside any other species the way they evolved alongside us. The domestication of dogs began somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years ago. And from the very beginning, survival for a dog was tied to one thing: reading human beings correctly. The dogs who could understand human emotions survived. The dogs who could predict human behavior, respond to human moods, align themselves with human social rhythms. Those were the dogs who were fed, who were kept, who were protected and bred. Over thousands of generations, dogs did not just learn to live with humans. They learned to feel with them. The capacity your dog has to sense your emotional state, to approach you when you cry, to press his body against yours, to bring you something, to tremble with you, that was not an accident of domestication. That was the point of it. Your dog's empathy is not a trick. It is not a performance. It is the result of an evolutionary relationship so long and so deep that the boundary between human emotion and canine response has become genuinely blurred. When you cry, something real happens inside your dog. Not a simulation of feeling. Not a learned response designed to earn a reward. Feeling. And here is the most profound part of all this. Your dog does not need to understand why you are sad. He does not need context. He does not need the full story. He does not need to know if you are crying over something big or something small. He just needs to know that you are hurting. And that is enough for him to choose to be with you. Think about that for a moment. No judgment. No impatience. No wondering if your grief is proportionate. No checking his phone. No looking for the right words to say. Just presence. Unconditional, unquestioning, completely devoted presence. That is what your dog is offering when he comes to you while you cry. And it is one of the rarest things one living being can offer another. So the next time your dog does something in that moment, the next time he comes close or leans into you, or brings you a sock, or simply watches you with those steady, ancient eyes from across the room, do not dismiss it. Do not chalk it up to instinct or coincidence or the idea that dogs just do that. Look at him. Really look at him. Because what you are seeing in that moment is the product of thousands of years of evolution, of selection, of an interspecies bond unlike anything else on this planet. You are seeing a living creature who has been shaped by time itself to be present with you in your pain. And here is the closing truth that I want you to carry with you. Your dog cannot say, "I love you." He cannot write it. He cannot explain it. He cannot philosophize about the nature of his attachment to you. But when you cry, and he comes, he is saying it the only way he knows how, with his whole body, with his whole self, without hesitation and without condition. That is not almost love. That is not love adjacent. That is the real thing. Pay attention to it. It deserves your attention. Now I want to hear from you. When you cry, what does your dog do? Does he come close? Does he watch from across the room? Does he bring you something? Tell me in the comments. Every dog is different, and every response means something.